Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to be diving into a pretty radical new way to think about heroism. We're going to explore a framework that completely redefines the very universe our heroes fight to protect, and it might just turn some of your favorite stories completely inside out.
So let's just start with a question that basically flips the entire superhero genre on its head. What if saving the world isn't the goal? What if it's actually just perpetuating a cosmic mistake? To even begin to answer that, we first have to understand the universe we think we're trying to save. So to really get this new kind of hero, we first need to do a little diagnostic on the universe they live in, a cosmos that just maybe isn't a precious gift to be treasured, but a fundamental error that we need to wrap our heads around.
I mean, we all know the classic story, right? A hero rises up to protect a good and valuable world from some villain who wants to destroy it. But what if that's all wrong? This framework says, hold on, maybe the universe itself is the real engine of suffering. And if that's true, well, our entire definition of what a hero is has to change. Big time.
Okay, so if existence itself is the problem, what's powering this broken universe? To figure that out, we actually need to turn to a 19th century philosopher, Arthur Schopenhauer, who had let's just say, a deeply pessimistic but fascinating diagnosis.
Schopenhauer argued that underneath everything we see and touch, there's this single, fundamental force he called the will to live. Now, this isn't a person or a god. Think of it more like a blind, restless, endless hunger that drives all of existence forward. And here's the kicker. Because this hunger can never, ever be satisfied, it basically guarantees that to exist is to suffer.
A good way to picture this is not as some thinking villain, but as a chaotic, endless ocean. It's the fundamental reality that's just churning away beneath our world. It doesn't have a plan, it doesn't have a motive, it's just a constant, aimless striving that brings everything into being, but offers absolutely no peace.
So if that raging ocean is the real reality, what is this world that we see every day? Well, Schopenhauer called it the veil of Maya. It's the grand illusion of our perceived reality. You know, individual people, separate events, a world that seems to have consequences. But it's all just a mask, hiding the terrifying truth that we are all just temporary expressions of that single, unified, suffering will.
And this is where it really clicks into place with our modern stories. Just think about comic book multiverses, right? With their endless cycles of crises and deaths and reboots. It's a perfect modern allegory for this veil of Maya. Each hero and villain, every single world saved or lost, it's all just another ripple in the illusion, masking the true unified suffering that's always bubbling up from underneath.
All right, so we've got Schopenhauer's diagnosis of a universe built on suffering. Now let's add another layer and explore the sheer scale of this pessimistic cosmos, this time through the lens of cosmic horror and ancient myth.
Now, this is what's so wild. It completely redefines the idea of an antagonist. We're not talking about a villain with a mustache and a plan. We're talking about a void entity, a cosmic principle. The horror here isn't that something out there wants to destroy you. It's the absolute vertigo of discovering that the universe is vast, ancient, and simply doesn't care that you exist at all.
And you know, this idea of a primordial nothingness, it isn't new. It's right there at the very beginning of the Bible. The state of reality before creation is described as tohu wabohu, formless and void. And this isn't a state of evil. It's a state of pure, undifferentiated chaos, before order and meaning were ever even a thing. So there you have it. That's our full, pretty bleak diagnosis. We're looking at a universe built on an engine of pain, adrift in a completely indifferent cosmos, and all the while constantly being pulled back toward the primordial chaos from which it came. Cheery, right? So, faced with this horrifying cosmic truth, what can a hero possibly do? I mean, if you can't actually win, what's the point of even fighting? This right here is where the very definition of heroism gets completely turned on its head. In a cosmos like this one, the fight can't be about winning. It just can't. A victory against the fundamental nature of reality itself? That's impossible. Every win is just temporary. Just one more turn of a wheel that's going to keep on spinning long after the hero is gone.
So here's the absolute key. We have to throw out the old scorecard. We have to abandon this idea that heroism is about achieving some final, ultimate victory, where good triumphs and evil is banished forever. That's just not on the table. Instead, heroism becomes the conscious act of rebellion.
It's a defiant choice. It's looking straight into the abyss of a meaningless, painful universe and choosing to create meaning, compassion, and order anyway.
Even if the effects are temporary, even if the fight is ultimately futile on a cosmic scale, that single act of defiance is what forges human value. It literally creates meaning where there was none. It's a flash of light against the deafening silence of an uncaring universe.
And that leaves us with one last, kind of haunting thought. If our very nature is to be trapped in this constant, painful striving to exist, what does it truly mean to be free? Perhaps, in the deepest sense, real freedom isn't about winning the fight, but about finally finding a way to just let go.